Holy mackerel. But it ended up nice. We got up on the ridge, and the Japs didn't know we were. And they were down there cooking. Whole bunch of them, you know. And I'm sitting up there looking over the ridge, and I said, boy, oh boy, there must be about 50 of them down there. And they were cooking and doing their chores, you know. We are up on high ground, you know. So I brought all the BARs, 4 of them, you know. And I lined them up on the ridge, and I said, don't put your head over until you're ready to shoot, you know. And holy crap, I said, go ahead, fire, you know. All my guys lined up on the ridge. The Japs were scattered, we were shooting them. I said, holy crap, they couldn't even shoot back if they didn't have their guns. They didn't expect us. I said, we had made a killing and nobody got hurt. And I said, boy, if all war was like this, it'd be pretty good, you know. And then from Clarkfield, we went to, what the heck his name is? Back to Leyte. Leyte, they run into a bunch of Japs back in the mountains, you know. And I went to Leyte, our whole division went to Leyte, even though the front end was secured. But back in the mountains, there was all kind of trouble with Japs. Mm-hmm. We got down in there, and I said, oh my God. So I was on Leyte when the company commander called me in, and he told me, he says, Sarge, he says, how would you like to go home? And I looked at him and said, what do I have to do now? He said, well, if you want to go home, we're going to commission you a 2nd lieutenant on the battlefield. We're going to give you the Bronze Star for valor. And I looked at him and I said, what else? Is there another loophole? Yeah, you have to come back in 30 days. At that time, I was gone about 43 months, I guess, 44 months. Never had a 72-hour pass. And I said, okay, how am I going? By boat. I said, I'm going by boat. That'll take up 30 days. He said, no, we'll try to fly you out. But your tag don't start till you get to high call, California, you know. So I said, all right. Me and I guess there was about 4 other ones were getting leave. Maybe they had something wrong in their family or what. But anyway, there was about 4 or 5 of us. I was in a mess hall. Guys went, a couple of them went on a boat. And I'd have took the boat, but I wanted to get home. I said, I don't care. So anyway, I'm eliminating a little bit of my troubles. But anyway, I went to eat. I'm in the mess hall and somebody goes, Sergeant Molnar, Sergeant Molnar, you're wanted at CQ, you know, headquarters. And he says, I think your plane's here. Oh boy, I didn't eat. I took off. I had my bag always ready, you know. And I was resting in the rest area anyway, you know. So I went back, grabbed my bag, a truck come, got me, put me on an airplane. Cargo plane, no seats in it. I get to the airport and I get up there and I look, I said, well, where the heck do we sit? The guy said, anywhere in there, it's a big plane back there. So you sat on the floor, you know, no seats. Anyway, the pilot's compartment was open. We took off from Leyte, you know, and we went to Wake, spent an hour or so for maintenance, and then from Wake, went all the way to Honolulu. You know. I get to Honolulu. They said, well, you won't be able to get a plane out of here for a couple more days. I said, I don't care. I know Honolulu. I can have leave. Yeah, you can have leave. You have to go get a physical. You know. So I went in and had a physical. They give me a pass to go to Honolulu. So I stayed at Schofield Barracks, which I knew Schofield when I went to Ranger train. And I said, I never lived in the States till I went to Schofield. They were marble floors, you know. That was regular Army there, you know. They stayed there all the time. I think it was the 24th Division, was a regular Hawaiian division. You signed up in the States, and you probably ended up in that division over there if you wanted it in Hawaii. So I was at Schofield, the airfield was right there by Schofield. So I knew the area because I was there when I was in Ranger training. So I went to Honolulu. Didn't have much money, a couple bucks, but I did get a couple beer I drank and stayed there a couple days. And then the plane, we had a plane going to the United States. So I got aboard the ship, the airplane, and we start going. All of a sudden, I'm up in the air, about 5 feet, the plane ain't under me. I come banging down. I went up, got up, walked up. The door, no doors between that compartment and the back. 2 pilots up, the pilot and his co-pilot, I guess. And I went up, it was about dusk. I said, hey, Captain, what the heck happened back there? Oh, he said, pay no attention to it. He said, we hit an air pocket. We just dropped 500 feet. I looked at him. I said, look, bud, I got 45 months down here already. I says, you're going to drown me before I get home. I know that. I took a boat. He said, no. He said, that's all right. Don't worry about it. He says, come up here. So I was talking from back. He called me up. He says, how you like that scenery? Oh, there was no windows in this thing, you're just back there with a cargo. So I'm looking out the window and holy crap, ocean's under me, layer of clouds, sunset, beautiful red. He said, you ever see anything so nice? I said, well, when you show me the Golden Bridge and I see it, I said, I'll be happy. I said, I want to get home. Anyway, he got me to Hawaii, and you know what? He said, hey, Sarge, I can't fly you under the Golden Bridge, but I'm going to take you over the top of it. So I guess about 10 of us on it. So he flew us over, landed in Oakland, California, and I thanked the pilot. I said, well, you didn't kill me on that airplane anyway. No parachute, nothing. Just sitting there. And imagine, you hit them air pockets, 500 feet, he said. No wonder you stay up there. Actually left me up in the air. Then you bang down, you didn't come down. I said, holy mackerel, you will make it home. So, anyway, I get to California, and I had 4 or 5 sets of Japanese gold teeth. I knocked them out of dead guys when I was over there in Cape Gloucester. So the guys were doing it like a prank. They said they have value because of gold, but they're only caps. So I was sitting in the bottom. I had no money. Playing with these gold teeth. Some people come and say, what are they? I said, oh, some Japanese. You want to sell them? I said, what are you giving me? He said, here's $10. I'll take one. So I sold them all. I got $40, I think, or something like that. I had a good night, and then they found out I was in the 40th Division. Boy, the booze was coming. I went back to camp. I was drunker than a I said, oh, boy. I spent maybe a week in Oakland, California. You have to stay there till they look you over, They don't want to send you back with a bunch of disease. So they said your train will be in, after about a week. The train come in, civilian train. Anyway, I'm not thinking nothing. They give me all new clothes. It was June the 5th, 1945. That's when I got my discharge. So it had to be before June the 5th that I was in California. Maybe May. So anyway, I got on the train. I remember Eleanor Roosevelt being down in Australia, and she made a remark. It was in the Army paper, that all soldiers come back from the Southwest Pacific have to go to a rehabilitation center. And I looked at it. I looked at that paper. I said, that woman's crazy. Then then when I got on the train, everybody was looking at me. There I am, decked out, boy. Chevrons for my wrist. 38 months of chevrons. Every 6 months you get one. From my wrist all the way up to my elbow, you know. And all my decorations. I didn't have the Bronze Star or anything. But what they gave me, what they had. You know. And not thinking nothing of how I looked, you know. Because I was with these other guys, and they were yelling with Atterbrine, and me too. And I'm over there trying to drink a glass of milk, and all these people go, you know, shaking, you know. And I said, boy, maybe Eleanor Roosevelt did make sense. What the hell's the matter with me, you know? And then there was a guy close to me, and I said, how come all the people are looking at me? He said, did you ever know that you people are all yellow? I said, we are. Never entered my mind. All of your skin was yellow, fingernails yellow, eyeballs yellow. But being among them couple guys, you know, it never rung a bell. I even carried 2 bottles. They told me to take 2 bottles of Atterbrine home, though. Don't quit taking them because I'm coming back. You know. So, I settled down a little bit, made it to Chicago. Get to Chicago. I'll never forget. The woman, the clerk, you know, she said, sorry, Sarge, there's no train out, we're filled up. You know, I looked at her and I said, oh, can't you do me a favor? I said, I've been gone for almost 4 years. I have a chance to get home. I have 30 days in the United States, and then you're going to keep me here. She said, Sarge, I'll see what I can do. She said, it don't look good, you know. She says, in the meantime, you can go down to the bottom shopping center, bar rooms down there, and if I get anything, I'll let you know. I get down there, the city down there, underground. Well, I never seen anything like that, you know, being a kid from Wimberley, and there are stores, bar rooms, everything's down underground in that station. And I stayed down there, I heard on the loudspeaker, Sergeant Molnar, will you report to the desk, you know. So, boy, I come real, I had drank a couple, I didn't have too much money left, I had a couple bucks. Because I sent all my money home, didn't need any down there, so I sent it to my sister, 95 bucks a month every month. And down there, they couldn't buy nothing, there's no store, you know. So anyway, I didn't have no money. When I sold them gold teeth, that's the money I had for me to get home. Well, anyway, I got on a train. I get to Fort Dix, New Jersey. That their guy that's processing me there, you know, he looked at me. He looked at my records, because you carry your records with you, you know. So I kind of give him my records, and he looks at them and he said, holy mackerel, Sergeant. He said, didn't you see enough? And I looked at him, what are you talking about? I said, I seen enough. He said, well, how come you have to go back? I said, because that's what they told me. I can't come home unless I come back. You know? And he looked at me, he says, you know what? They have an 85 point. He said, I was just totaling yours up in my head here. He said, you have sufficient points for 120 some points that you can go home. Discharge. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no, I ain't kidding you. He said, I said, who do I have to see? He said, go see the adjutant general. I'll make an appointment for you. So I went in and talked to that general, and he listened to me. He said, boy, I don't blame you. He said, second lieutenant or not? I said, yeah. I went through 5 of them when I was down in the Philippines and down on, how you call it, Cape Gloucester. And I said, they're all dead. I come back, I could get out there and be dead too. I said, the only reason I took this deal, because I wanted to come home. So he says, all right. He said, we'll process you for discharge, if that's what you want. You know, he said, that's an honor, though. He said, remember. He said, I said, the heck with the honor. I didn't volunteer in this army, but I'll sure as heck volunteer to get out. I said, I had enough. So he looked at me and said, all right, so they processed me. Gave me $350 mustering out pay. Gave me a first ruptured duck in this town, you know, and told me I'm on my own, you know, discharged me. So I took my bag and everything I had. I found a hotel. I checked in a hotel, stayed in Trenton, New Jersey. 2 nights, I think. 2 good nights in Trenton. Drunk, but they were good. They were good. And then I got on a train. I come home to Johnstown. Come home, my sister didn't know I was home. I come home on a bus. I was the first guy discharged here in 37, you know, with time. And I sit back and I always think about it. I said, holy mackerel, how many times I thought I was a goner, you know, after spending all that time down in there. And I said, I come back, shell shock one time. I didn't tell you about that. One time, they said a mortar shell, 80 millimeter or whatever they had. It landed away from me, but it kicked me out of the hole. They told me that I walked around for about 3 days, didn't know who I was, you know. And I says, then in the jungle, you know, I said, holy crap, what a life. What a life. If I always said, if they paid my way, when I was younger, not now anymore, if they'd have paid my way, maybe they got cities down there now, I don't know. But back when I was there, Guadalcanal, Bougainville, New Guinea, New Britain, Luzon, half these Philippines. But then my outfit went to Okinawa. I'd have been dead sure as heck I went to Okinawa. That's what I understand. The 40th Division went to Okinawa. But I never went there because after Luzon and Leyte, and then we were supposed to go to Mindanao. My last orders was get ready to go from Leyte to Mindanao. That's another Philippine. The whole cluster of them in there. And there was a pocket. Oh yeah, I did hear about it here lately. A lot of Muslims there. They were giving trouble that belonged to Bin Laden. Mindanao Island in the Philippines. That's like headquarters for them. They're having all this trouble in Luzon and everywhere with the Muslims. Well, that's where I was supposed to go. But I didn't go. From Leyte I left. Come on. But like I said, combat-wise, I've seen enough that I know. Not what a lot of people. Then you watch like them making beachheads, like Tarawa, I call that Normandy. You know, we never got hit that hard on the beach. You know. So I sit back. But anyway, I went into civilian, come home to civilian. Yep, never had it so good. Never had it so good. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm a firm believer, you ought to take all young kids, give them 1 year. Right. 1 year. Discipline-wise. I said, I think we don't have no discipline. Now, I won't tell you my opinion over there. I wouldn't want to be over in Iraq for no money. No money, Jim. That's no war.
Yeah.
That's no war. Not the war that I know, you know. Them people are over trying to police, keep order. You don't know when you're going to get shot. I read the other day, I think they're talking 300 and some people already.
Yeah.
You know. To somebody, that sounds like a little bit. But holy mackerel, how about them families? Sit back. There's 300 of them lost, and most of them are married.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went in, most of the people were single when I went in. They deferred a lot of married people, you know. Not when I went in, you were single, you were gone. You know, if I survived. Because I guess right here on this street, there's 5 of them joined the Marine after I went in, you know, because I left in 41. I was about the 4th guy, I guess, from this town. They dug that number out of that service number, what category, you know. And the first one, I wasn't in it because I wasn't 21. But then the first number they drew out, that was my category in that group. And I went right away after that, they called me. But I didn't know nothing. Like I was saying, when I went in, they asked me, do you want Coast Artillery? You want paratroopers? I didn't know nothing about the Army, nothing. But I told my whole family, I says, the best thing ever happened to me that I went in the Army, because I didn't know nothing. And I learned something. Like I said, you learn combat. Combat's no joke to nobody. It's not fun. And this war they got in Iraq, they couldn't pay. I see they're giving bonuses. There ain't nobody signing up. What is it, like $10,000? I wouldn't go. I wouldn't sign up. Them reserves. Them guys are only in there to get that little extra money. They never dream they're going to go fight. I sit back and I scratch my head. I said, no way I'd have stayed in Iraq. Yep. I'm a firm believer. When I went down, I said, how would I ever shoot a guy? And I'll never forget the first Jap I shot. I didn't tell you that. We secured a hill, and my whole platoon was up on top, you know. And our left flank was empty, and they were reinforcing that. Down the hollow was a bunch of Japs, motormen mostly. And I'm sitting up there, and I see these Japs jumping out of these foxholes. I never shot a Jap till then, you know. And I'm sitting up there, and I said, oh my God, there's a guy going. He's running, you know. And I pulled up and I fired 8 shots at me. He run crossway. And I didn't hit him. So I took it, I loaded my rifle again. I looked down there and he's still running. And I must have come close and threw his hands up. Boom, 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 boom. I guess when I had done, I put 7 bullets in him, and the first guy I shot. Unarmed. He was a motorman. He had white glove though. I'll never forget it. But I got shot up. His buddies got killed. And I said, holy crap, what a way to learn. But you were him. Sit back and I'll never forget that guy. I didn't mind shooting if they were shooting at me. This guy didn't even have a gun. He just got pinned down there and he never knew we got behind him. You know, we happened to be sitting up on high ground looking down at them. And them other bunch too, that I told you we run into up there. It was down there when I told them BAR men opened up on them. They were out there making breakfast. They got shot up. And they didn't shoot back that much that day either. But anything else you want to know? Got any questions? I think I shot my mouth off enough.
Yeah, just I have a few things.
Go ahead.
In terms of weapons, what weapon did you use? Did you use the BAR yourself?
I went over with a 1903 Springfield.
Okay.
That's all they had. We went over with the old World War II helmets. Because we didn't have the Fox then.
Right.
But the first rifle we had was Springfield. Then when we were going on a ship to Hawaii, we were issued M1 rifles. They were semi-automatic,
Right.
M1. And then now they got all kinds. So now, when I went over, your main gun in every platoon was your BARs. And each squad had a BAR. 3 squads. I told you they triangulized. After Japanese problem, Pearl Harbor, I guess, they made the division smaller, and the jungle, being in the jungle, the smaller the better. So then they took our whole regiment, and then they even triangulized the platoons. One time platoons had four platoons to a company. Then they made it 3 platoons to a company. Made it smaller, you can control it better. Right. That's the way it worked. And, well, I shot mortars, 60 millimeter, 80 millimeter motors. You know, you had to learn them all.
Mhm.
Because you didn't know when you'd have to become a motorman. But when they taught you in basic, they taught you all of it. You went out in the range, you shoot,
Mhm.
and then you qualify. You know, I make sharpshooter with everything. But most accurate gun I ever shot was a Springfield 1903. World War I rifle, but boy, you get it on target once. If you missed it, it was your own fault. I like that rifle.
Mhm.
Of course, for firepower though, like you're going to take something, you want to lay down a volume of fires, you're going. The high call, the M1s were better.
Mhm.
This was one shell at a time. You know?
Right.
This one you could shoot your BAR, it would go itself. You could just keep yanking the trigger. So, anything else?
Um, yeah, you talked about I guess you had some replacements in
Yeah.
your outfit. Um, I've read like a lot of reports where, um, once you were in combat and stuff, the replacements were kind of green. And was there any like conflict? Were they introduced into the outfit easily, or did they have like,
They
how
had
did
no
you treat?
say so.
Right. Okay. So they were pretty much an outsider. They didn't get along very well at first.
Oh no. No, when they came down, they already had basic, Jim.
Right. Right. Okay.
Most of these
Right.
replacements had basic.
Mhm.
And when they came to your outfit, you know, they weren't in combat yet.
Right.
They climatized.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
they blend right in.
Mhm.
Never had no trouble, other than that
Okay.
one kid I told you
Right.
that I didn't like. But other than that, I
Okay.
never seen a bad kid. You
Okay.
know, as far as I know, you know, every replacement I ever had, they were good. They
Okay.
were good kids. Of course, I went over with the 27. Most of them were out of New York
Mhm.
till they started drafting. Because these guys were all National Guard. They're just like you got fighting now. You know?
Right.
So they built up these National Guard outfits with replacements with selective service.
Mhm.
You know, because I didn't belong to no National Guard or anything at that time. And most of my buddies that I went in with, that we filled in their platoons and companies, were mostly from Buffalo, New York, Syracuse, up
Mhm.
the northern part of New York.
Right.
Most of them in our company anyway that I knew of.
Mhm.
And then we left that outfit. They had 4 infantry regiments, and they sent 108, which was mostly selective service. They really built 108. Most of them with selective service, like me, you know,
Mhm.
after you went through Camp Croft, South Carolina, then they just built these outfits with these young kids like me.
Right.
In other words, I was a greenhorn when I went with them.
Mhm.
Live and learn, like they say. Anything else?
um, Now with I took a modern Japan history class, and we talked about the Pacific War a little bit, and they were talking about. We talked a lot about. We read a book where they said about that the Pacific War was a war of hate, is what they said. Okay, now, and they said that American soldiers that would not take Japanese prisoners of war, that they did that on the basis of hate. But I was just wondering, what was the practice that you found was mostly? Did you take prisoner of war?
No prisoners.
You did not. You were ordered like.